What if I told you there's a generation that grew up without smartphones, social media, or even the internet? A generation that learned independence before convenience. This generation is known as Generation X, people born roughly between 1965 and 1980. Gen X is often called the forgotten generation because they were stuck between the baby boomers and millennials. But what makes them unique is that they witnessed one of the biggest transformations in human history. The shift from an analog world to a digital one. They grew up watching television, reading newspapers, listening to radio broadcasts, and using landline phones. There were no social media apps, no instant messaging, and no Google. If they wanted information, they had to search for it themselves. If they wanted to talk to someone, they had to call or meet them in person. Many Gen X children came home from school to an empty house while their parents were at work. Psychologists call them latchkey children. They learn to solve problems on their own, make decisions independently, and take responsibility at an early age. This experience helped create one of Gen X's strongest traits: self-reliance. Another interesting characteristic is their skepticism. Gen X lived through economic uncertainty, political scandals, and rapid social changes. As a result, they learned not to trust everything blindly. Instead, they questioned information, thought critically, and relied on experience rather than assumptions. They also developed a strong work ethic. Success wasn't about quick shortcuts or instant results. It required patience, effort, and persistence. This mindset became deeply rooted in their psychology and still influences the way many Gen X adults approach work and life today. Unlike younger generations, Gen X also values privacy. They grew up in a world where every moment wasn't shared online. Personal space was normal, and privacy felt natural. Because of this, many Gen X individuals prefer keeping parts of their lives offline. But perhaps their greatest strength is resilience. They adapted to massive technological changes, economic challenges, and a rapidly changing world. They learned how to adjust, survive, and keep moving forward no matter what happened. Generation X may not be the loudest generation, but they are one of the most adaptable, independent, and resilient. They remember life before the internet and successfully adapted to life after it. And that's exactly what makes their psychology so fascinating. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Generation X may have grown up in a different world, but their story still has a lot to teach us today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and join us for more fascinating psychology stories and deep dives into the human mind. See you in the next one.